Leonardo da Vinci is one of the greatest exponents of the Italian Renaissance. His interests went far beyond art. In fact, he studied engineering, botany, anatomy, and much more. He didn't have much time for art, in fact. In addition to works of incredible beauty, Leonardo is also famous for the works he never completed. Today, in this video, we will talk about one of them, the Adoration of the Magi. What is the meaning of this work, and what symbols are behind it? You'll find out soon, but first, let's get some background. A document dated July 1481 attests that Leonardo da Vinci had received from the Augustinian monks the task of making a painting for the altar of the Church of St. Donato in Scopeto, located outside the walls of Florence. The painting, which Leonardo undertook to complete within 30 months, had as its theme the Adoration of the Magi, that is, the celebration of the Feast of the Epiphany, in which, according to St. Augustine, all peoples respond to Christ's call. According to the original meaning of the term epiphany, it means manifestation. In fact, Leonardo wanted to capture a precise moment, seeking its deepest religious meaning. That is the moment in which the child, making a gesture of blessing, reveals his divine nature to the people, as the bearer of salvation. From a compositional point of view, Leonardo made his own innovations set by Sandro Botticelli in the Adoration of the Magi of Santa Maria Novella, placing the Holy Family in the center and the Magi at the base of an ideal pyramid, which has the figure as its apex of Maria. He further developed this novelty by arranging the procession in a semicircle behind the Virgin, leaving an empty space, more or less circular in shape, in the ideal center of the space, where there is a rock with a tree. The slight movement of the Virgin thus seems to spread in concentric circles, like a wave generated by divine revelation. The unfinished work is presented today as a grandiose monochrome sketch, which allows us to know in depth the technique used by Leonardo in the realization of the works. According to the Florentine tradition, the master first prepared an accurate drawing, but using as few sharp lines as possible for the outlines. This contrasted with the then dominant position in Florence of the predominance of the contour line as the precise boundary of the represented object. As we know, in fact, Leonardo preferred to use soft contours, suggesting a certain continuity between the objects and the space that surrounds them, through the circulation of the air, which in reality prevents a clear vision of things. The background is divided into two parts by the two trees. The first a laurel, a symbol of triumph over death, therefore the resurrection, and the second a palm, a symbol of Christ's passion, which directs the viewer's gaze in depth. Here we find some ruined architecture such as the Temple of Jerusalem, which refers to the decline of Judaism and paganism, from which the Christian religion originated. The building with the stairs has been compared to the presbytery of the Church of San Miniato al Monte. On it, there are some shrubs, as are sometimes seen on some buildings which nature has had plenty of time to reclaim. Or it may be a possible reference to the Basilica of Maxentius, which according to medieval legend, the Romans claimed would remain standing until a virgin gave birth. It is supposed to have collapsed on the night of Christ's birth. To the right is a scuffle of armed men, unseated men, and rearing horses, as a symbol of the madness of men who have not yet received the Christian message, and a sketch of soaring rocks typical of Leonardo's landscape. Furthermore, according to some experts, the boy on the far right of the painting, who looks outwards, could be a youthful self-portrait of Leonardo. More likely it is to be related to the man who meditates on the opposite side, as an invitation to reflect on the mystery of the Incarnation. The Uffizi Gallery has completed a 6-year restoration of the work, starting in 2012 and finishing in 2017. The painting has been fully cleaned with years of dirt and old varnish removed. The result is a work that is incredibly bright, with Leonardo's charcoal outline and marks clearly visible. The wood panels have also been restored in order to stabilize the artwork. The Adoration of the Magi is perhaps one of Leonardo da Vinci's strangest and most fertile compositions. Combining figures of imploring old men and armed knights, he transformed a banal biblical subject into a scene from human history. In the summer of 1482, Leonardo left for Milan, leaving the work unfinished. The reasons? There are hypotheses, but we leave these for another video. 15 years later, certain by now of Leonardo's default, the religious turned to Filippino Lippi to obtain an altarpiece with a similar subject also in the Uffizi Gallery. There are other works by Leonardo that have actually been finished, and that tell other interesting stories. I leave you 2 videos that I recommend you see.